Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of 4Ps in a Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Ben. We have Jack.
Hello.
We have Tom.
Hello.
And we have the
Mighty Mouse
known as Michael.
Morning.
Why does he get an amazing intro?
I've been thinking the last couple of days about bigger intros for you guys, and I've only come up with Mighty Mouse Michael right now. I can come up with
Jack and Tom.
Yeah, I mean,
say hello.
Well, I mean, what could there be? We've got Thumping Thud Thomas.
Gigantic Jack.
No, that's a G.
Yeah.
You can't have a G and a J.
No, but
How about
that's the same.
Jerky Little Jack?
I do get jerky.
All right, anyway, guys, welcome back to episode 2. We're going to jump straight into it because Tom has a topic or something to discuss with us, but he has not let any of us know what it is. So we're going into this with as little information as you are. So, Tom, I'm going to hand straight over to you to crack on.
All right, so as you all know, I get unnecessarily angry and frustrated at times anyway. I would like your 3 views on if I blew this one out of proportion. So,
I could already say yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, yesterday,
hang on. I'm gonna guess it.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Someone cut you out.
Yeah, were you in the car, you were at a red light, someone pulled in front of you, and that's it, the world's going to end?
Someone threw a milkshake at your car.
No, it's a daily occurrence anyway, but no.
Right, go on then.
This one was at work. Okay, so getting on with that, Sunday, I had a spicy peri-peri chicken pizza.
Did you shit on someone?
No. So it don't work well with me. Spice don't work well with my body anyway. And so I was at work, casually getting on with my day, doing my thing. And as I normally do in the day, I announced that I'm going for a shit. So I went for a shit.
You announced it.
So, every single time I do shit, I announce so people know where I am. And so I was sitting there, like, doing what I need to do, and it was pumping out. And at that point, my manager decided he wanted to look for me. Okay, so he was wandering around the warehouse asking, where's Tom? And they've gone, oh, he's in the toilet. So while I was in the toilet and what I could only describe as lava coming out of my arse, I've heard a knock on the door. And
No,
casually, as normal people do, someone's in here, occupied. And while Satan was plastering the porcelain, my manager has decided to try and have a chat with me while I'm having a shit.
No.
So...
No.
I've kicked off at that through the toilet door while I'm still there, burning arsehole, arguing with my manager. And I got moaned at for that, for being disrespectful.
What? Wait, he pulled you into an office or something, or he just said, don't be disrespectful?
No, he went to the directors, because the words I was using towards him, I was considered disrespectful, considering I was the one on the toilet and he was trying to talk to me about work.
Did you explain to them the situation?
Yeah, I explained the situation, and they said that he shouldn't have been trying to talk to you. I was like, I don't like it. I don't even like it when I'm at home, and my daughter's talking to me while I'm trying to have a shit. It's, but yeah.
I tell you now, if my manager's a woman, so interesting if she walks into the lads' toilets, but
well, you can't assume nowadays.
If my manager walked in, tapped on the door whilst I'm having to do a number 2, or no, not having to do, I'm midway through dumping out, I'm in a vulnerable position. So my whole thing, right, I think the most vulnerable state of a human is
It's
when
they're in shit.
when the skin between your knee and your ass, so your thigh, is on show. Because only when that is on show are you having a poo, having a shower or bath, or having sex. All three of those situations, you're very vulnerable if that skin shows. So if my manager comes in and knocks on the door while I'm dumping out and my skin is showing, I will open the door and just let her see what's going on.
No, for real. But I have two things. I have two things. Yeah, I think you was right to say and do what you did. And second, dude, you got to stop eating spicy food. If this is going to happen,
Every time.
stop.
Yeah, every
You
time.
always complain that spicy food does this to you. But I think a lot of people do that. So many people can't handle spice. Oh, but I just love it so much. I've never understood the appeal of spice, but
I'm bent over in pain after a jalapeno, so I just don't bother. I'm not good with spice like at all.
I'm having to sit down. I'm sitting down with my manager in a meeting room, and I'm casually saying that this is not going to happen again.
Yeah, I wanted to know if I was already blew it out of proportion for effing and blinding while I was.
No, I would kick.
I would have gone further. I would have been screaming and shouting.
I'm there.
Oh, you piss! I swear to God.
Well, that's another thing. When you're shouting at them, are you having to stop so you can bear down?
I can't talk and push at the same time. So when I talk, I clench.
All they're going to hear is a series of pauses when I'm shouting. Like, let's call your manager Joe, because I don't know. We're not going to say the real name.
No.
Around that person. But it's more like, Joe, seriously, I do not want to have this conversation with you right now. And all they're going to hear is heavy breathing through the door. And then what's going to happen? You finish what you wipe, and then you've got to shout wiping. So you're bent over, taking cursory checks, and then shouting while you're washing your hands, and then shouting over the blow dryer, and then opening the door and be like, "You good?" No.
Considering I get aggressive in that way, I'd be wiping my ass very aggressive shouting, which can lead to a lot of damage.
Couldn't you have did you just say, like, did you announce what was going on? Joe, I'm having a duck. Please give me 5 minutes. I'm here for 8 hours a day. You don't need me now for the next 5 minutes.
Not in those words.
Yeah, I'm having a fucking shit.
I'm having a... I pretty much said, can you fuck off? I'm having a shit.
Also, when you're pooping, well, I say pooping, when you're wiping, I can't multitask. So all I would have to do is sit there or stand there.
And you stand
I
and
swear
shit.
to...
Wait, you stand and wipe?
I swear to God.
He hasn't got his headphone. Mike, you stand and wipe?
I stand and wipe, yes.
How old are you?
7.
I'm talking like trousers are by the ankles. I stand, I wipe all of it.
You're
going to touch your toes and let someone check?
Well, sometimes I sweat when I go to the toilet and all, so I take the top off. I'm practically naked when I go to the toilet.
You know what? You're the sort of guy that when you go a wee, your trousers are at your ankles and you're holding your teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Butters from South Park? Is that his name, Butters?
Yeah.
Butters Scotch.
That's who you are.
No, I'm like between my waist and where my trousers are when I'm having a dump. There's about 4 inches of clearance. It is pulled so close, like it's like the width of a letterbox. That's what I'm shitting through.
What are you scared about? Like Bloody Mary coming through the mirror or something and just seeing you naked?
Violating you.
I don't know, but I'm not risking. I don't care about anyone seeing my tool. I don't care about. It's almost like the cross-eyed face. I don't want them seeing like how red I am.
How angry you get when you shit.
It's like.
I've got a story about a toilet which happened to me
Has
yesterday.
anyone had anything where they got unnecessarily angry, or
Yes,
what other
me.
people would see as unnecessarily angry?
Me
Not on a
yesterday,
toilet.
but it has to do with a toilet, but not poop. So the place me and the missus moved into, it's only actually recently been built. So, and it turns out the builders who did it were just not good at their job. So our toilet door frame is kind of like crooked. So the door doesn't shut properly. So yesterday I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the toilet. And for some reason my brain was like, all right, I'm going to shut the door fully. So I shut the door, I did my business, and I tried to get out, but the door had like jammed shut. So I started to panic, calling out for the business, like, I can't get out of the toilet. And our toilet here is quite a small room. And I'm quite a large fella. So I was putting all of my weight into the door. The door was starting to like creak where I thought I was breaking the wood where I was pushing it so much. I was like, look, you got to call the fire department. I ain't getting out of this. But yeah, it turns out she ended up just getting a hammer and smashing the handle.
She got a hammer.
Yeah. I always
I
keep
can just imagine just like,
That's not a murder.
baby, please. Ah!
I was panicking. I was like, out of everywhere to get stuck, there's 1 foot by 1 foot toilet.
No,
I was worrying.
I get angry a lot. Not in a toilet, because no one's ever come up to me in the bog.
It was just so weird.
But what annoys me, right, so not necessarily a story, but I'll just give you a series of events and you tell me when you would have got ready for the task that you needed to do. Right. So when you wake up in the morning, you know you're going to get on a train. When you wait for the bus, you know it's going to take you to the train station. When you walk up to the train station, you know you're going to go through the barriers. So why, when you get to the barrier, is that the point in your life that you choose to look for your fucking payment method and you're fumbling and you're faffing about and you've got 10,000 people trying to follow you? People at the back don't know they've stopped, so they're all crunching you up. And they're just like, oh my God, sort your life
And
out.
you get that
Step
one
aside.
tit, that has to go to the front or get to the front and then look. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. They get right there, their belly is pressed against the barrier, and they're like, oh, maybe I should get my card out, or my contactless, or my phone, or whatever their payment method is. Maybe this is the point. Not the 45 minutes it took me to get to this point. Maybe right now is when I need to pay.
And it's
Those
always,
are the bell ends.
When everyone's late for work, I'm going to get my payment out.
Yeah, and it's always at like the bottom of the bag as well, like hidden in like the weirdest little thing. So they're there for like a solid 5-6 minutes digging out whatever's there. So
It's pissing him off and he ain't even there.
Well, you three don't really take trains, right? I know, Tom, you don't take trains. Mick, you don't take a train. Jack, do you take train? I don't know.
Yeah, I take trains, but they're actually good over here. So
yeah, well, I'm in London, and again, it isn't necessarily the train or the barrier. It's the complete donkey that's looking for their payment method whilst at the barrier. That's what annoys me. And that same tit is probably the tit that when the train comes to their stop and opens, they choose to stand at the door of the train and choose which way to walk. Get off the train, take a step forward, and then decide.
no, the worst ones when I was living in London was when obviously London goes through a lot of train strikes, right? So there's only a couple of trains
Like every
that you
other
can
day,
actually
innit?
get on. Yeah.
That's more overground at the minute, but yeah, tubes do strike.
The ones that annoyed me is when you do finally get on a train during train strike time, and the train is so full that every single person is getting hurt from people squeezing in, and you always get that one person at doors. Can you move up, please? It's like, you ain't getting into this train. Can you move up? It's like, you're gonna sit on top of people just to get in this train, aren't you? It's like, come on, man.
You hear the guy the very hard worker on the platform, there is another train 1 minute behind this one.
It's just what I was thinking. Being in London, because I've never had to get a train like around London for work and that anyway. But surely they got to be pretty frequent.
To show how frequent they are, when a train sign, a timing sign, says 4 minutes, you want to hear Londoners. They go off like they're about to spend the next 7 years on the platform. But 4 minutes. Really? 4 minutes? The fuck are we waiting 4 minutes for?
Oh, he must be having his lunch break. That's what 4 minutes.
It's 4 minutes. Poor guy, if it is his lunch break, he's sitting on the train, it's like, just like smashing a sandwich.
He just put a whole double sandwich in his mouth. It's like, oh, go.
It's like deep throating Twixes and just swallowing like a snake. Poor guy. You just see him with like briefcase in his lunchbox, like sprinting down the platform.
But yeah, no, it's always that one guy, and he's always in like a grey suit or something. It's like, can you move up, please? Can you move up? No, I cannot.
I've never needed to do that.
In that guy's defence, they do like people all say like over the not the PA, whatever it is, over the intercom thing. Yeah, they always say, take your bag off. If you're standing up, take your bag off.
True.
And you like, I've got quite a big backpack, so I always take my bag off. But some people don't, and they're the people that also are like, oh, what's happening over there? Oh, what's happening over there? Oh my God, what's happening over there? And it's just like these kids and babies just like flying all over the place with their bags, like slapping people.
And
this is the last moan I'm going to do, and then I'm going to let someone else take turn. I can go for weeks.
Oh, yeah,
I once stood in front of an individual who had long hair and a bun. Well, it was long hair, but it was put into a bun. And they had, you know, those like, whatever they're called, like the teeth one.
Yeah.
No, like the teeth one.
Clips, the hair clip thing.
Oh,
the things that we used to do with kids, like, you know, when you put them on your...
Yeah. In a bun. And this person kept doing what I just said, like left, or right, left, right, left, right, left. And it kept hitting me, because I've got quite a long nose. It kept just brushing my nose. But because I've got like a really bad back, I can't lean back, and I've got some dude behind me as well, so I can't like lean on him. So I've got to stay there, and it's literally just going.
Get up the train with like a super red
chip, just bright red.
You know, like when you just skin yourself, and it's like a little bit of skin hanging off. I was like, it's just like. Honestly, that was when I was still living with mum and dad. So it was on the C2C.
Yeah,
and it was just like this person was watching a tennis match or maybe a ping pong match, because that's a bit quicker.
No, quicker.
Like, look, I've been on the C2C hundreds of times. There's nothing to look at on that journey.
There is nothing to look at. On the one side, it's fields, and on the other side, it's just like buildings and bushes. There's nothing going on. Oh, but yeah, sorry, that was me last moan. We'll let Mick have a go. Mick, anything that annoys you recently?
He works in retail.
Everything.
Yes.
As Jack just said, I work in retail, so literally everything bothers me. There is one though, and I already know what you would say. So, I have had people, right? So, obviously, where I work is quite busy.
People.
And they will go up to the checkout. They'll be doing their work in. I'll notice them. I'll put something down to go. They'll turn, look at you in the eyes and go...
Clicking.
They'd be picking up teeth with broken fingers.
Oh.
I'd even bite their fingers off.
Literally, no lie, was about to say, I will bite their fingers off. Snatch their wrist, and while they're screaming... Have you seen Dragon Ball Z Broly when Vegeta starts going into Super Saiyan and Broly can't get his hands out of the grip? It's like, ah! That's what it'll be like. I grab them, they'll be like, ah! And I don't care. I could be 6'5". The grip, and I'm just fucking bite, spit in his fucking face.
The hand movements did not bode well for you then, Ben.
Well,
no,
there's-
that bit.
It's fine. Especially when I grab both his hands. Ah! Ah!
Oh,
What has this come to?
Grab his
I
kid's
think-
hand behind me. Ah!
I think we broke Mick.
Wait, why has this turned into a full wrestling match? What's going on?
Mick's like, where the fuck do you work? Yeah.
That's Ben just trying to get off the train.
Nah, I'll get angry. One thing, viewers, that you will learn about me quickly, I get annoyed about everything.
And just for the viewers, we're not always all angry.
I am like 90% of the time.
But one of us at any one time is always angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
There's
only
one in 4
angry.
chance.
Yeah.
I'm only angry when I leave my house. When I'm at home, I'm alright. As soon as I step into London, I'm angry. I think you gotta be.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Another one for you. This was a few months ago now. So we had a new start. Well, I say a new start. He'd been there about 4 months by that point. So, and he was quite a stocky, muscly bloke. So I felt pretty vulnerable next to him anyway. And I was just doing my thing every day, and he's come up behind me and grabbed my waist.
Oh, you told me this one.
Yeah.
Well, he tried to pull a dirty dancing on you.
And I like I threatened him, and I got in trouble for it.
So
I'm the one being touched inappropriately at work here.
I get it, but first of all, what were you wearing?
It weren't my crop top and stockings.
Yeah, he may have had a reason.
Your booty shorts that say juicy across.
Yeah.
Jesus. No?
No, it was just my bog standard work uniform. Nothing seductive that day.
I don't know. That stuff doesn't bother me. Like,
No,
I'm a bit more playful like that. I wouldn't give a shit.
I have my bubble, and I like my bubble to stay clean.
I hate being touched.
By strangers, I get it, but I'm not. My thing is just I get annoyed by like stupid things, like when common sense, when there is evidence that that individual has no common sense. That just annoys me. Like when everyone is on like an escalator, standing on the right, and walking on the left, and you get that one plonker that's standing on the left. It's just annoying. Or everyone's like in the street, like walking one way, and you've got everyone's walking the other way, like you would on the road, so like left, right.
Yeah.
You get that one person that drifts over to the other side and is saying,
does
excuse
not move.
me, excuse me.
Yeah,
No.
it's sort of like the people you walk in piss wet through, and they go, "Is it raining outside?" No, mate, I just took a fucking shower in my clothes.
Tom, you have the weirdest sayings for like everything.
This is all stuff I've witnessed and heard.
What, piss wet through?
Oh, piss wet through, yeah.
Yeah, what?
Never heard of that saying.
No, same.
Have you not?
It's a northern thing, isn't it?
It's got to be isn't it?
Midlands.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's north from me.
So it's northern. So what's Jack then? I don't even know what direction Czech Republic's in.
Well, from
East.
us, east. Jack's eastern.
Can't recall your northerner then, really.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing that gets to me at work, especially. So obviously, living in the Czech Republic, they know from obviously my accent. They're like, "Oh, you're from England, right?" Is that no? And then they obviously know I am, and they're like, "Oh, so what's the UK like?" It's like, "Well, I'm living in the Czech Republic. What do you think I think?"
Yeah. Not that great, huh?
Bit of a dead giveaway.
It's fine. Like if you like the UK and you want to learn about it, fine. But I'm not the person to ask about the UK because it's just for me. I didn't enjoy it.
There's a reason you obviously moved out there.
And there's a reason I can't leave now. Hey.
Yeah. It weren't just your missus that dragged you out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah. Back to trains. This is when I first moved over here. I remember standing on a train, and like a lot of because before I started being able to choose what time I start work, I was starting at like the busy time of the morning, and it was really busy one morning, and I was standing there like with my hand on the pole, and then someone walked in and then went to put their hand on the pole above me, and they knocked my glasses off. Like behind, I was like, oh, "You mother!" And he just looked at me. It's like, "This ain't my fault."
Were you like, is it Velma?
My eyes
Make
go like,
glasses, make glasses.
you should see my eyes. They start wandering. They get really small. Start to sweat.
like a rat.
Basically, yeah.
On all fours.
Start
Tiny
squeezing it.
little eyes.
But anyway, yeah, he looked at me as if I'd done something wrong. So what? Dick.
Yeah, that was
The reason.
Huh?
Go on, Mick, sorry.
The reason I hate trains the most
They take a long time.
is because anytime I get on them, they're really busy. So I have to stand up. And there's always obviously people with their arms up. But it's only the people with their arms up that clearly haven't heard of deodorant.
So you must be the one with your arm up.
Always. It's just...
I'm only trolling.
Right. Yeah, just wanted
Right.
people's opinions on if I've blew that one out of proportion.
Well done,
Oh.
Tom. You've kind of pissed everyone off.
Yeah,
It's cool,
so,
though.
yeah. And giving
Although
everyone the up.
it would be interesting to understand if. So anyone that wants to throw a comment in, let us know what pisses you off.
Unnecessarily.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
simple things that just explode. I'll tell you one actually. Now I'm thinking about it, and I think Jack, you would agree with me because you're wearing headphones. When you go to move,
I know what
and
you're going to
you
say.
Ah,
you yank the headphones off your ears or out your ears.
that's why I got
I-
these.
Yeah, I deliberately don't wear them as much as possible now. But yeah, when you go to like,
Yeah.
you like it's on your foot or something, you go like that, and it just like goes, boom,
It
pulls out
your
your ears.
shirt. Especially if like with these ones as well, which have like the little
The inner ear.
Yeah,
yeah. It's I remember that happened like the first day that I bought these, and these were like 30, 40 quid. I was like, I pulled them out of my ears. It's like, I'm more than happy to just snap these in half and throw them in the bin. That is horrible. I hate it.
The last
Why?
time it happened, I literally put a pillow over my face and screamed as loud as I could. Because
Like a
little man
child
was
that's been
asleep.
grounded.
Little man was asleep, so I couldn't wake him up.
Was it a
And it
high
was
pitched
just like-
scream?
Yeah, like my voice like cracked and it felt like my throat was ripping. I just was like Arnie screaming for the predator, just like "Ah!" It was just.
Your headphones are there. It's like, chill, bro. It's just a prank.
Fucking
Honestly though, you feel so much better. Like whenever you feel like it, just grab a pillow and don't just do a little like, just proper holler into this pillow. You feel so good after. Like just manifest everything that's pissing you off and just scream it out. I felt so much better.
I don't need to. I
do it
normally
if-
project it to people as I go throughout the day.
I usually just pick up my pillow and go,
I'll only scream into the pillow if the person I want to scream at is on the other side of the pillow.
Under the pillow. No, a good scream. Good for you. But yeah, sorry, just as I was talking then, and I just noticed and just clocked Jack had it in-ear headphones in. I was like,
No,
oh, that's one.
who hates
It's just
wet
like one of those like
socks?
little things that explodes. Wet socks, yeah.
Wet socks.
I don't
Definitely
care
wet
what's
socks.
happening. I could have just won £1,000,000. I could have just been given a free Ferrari. As soon as I get wet socks, I sit down and I'm just like, this is the worst day of my life.
No, I tend to take them off and just throw them at the wall or in
I
the
wish I
washer.
didn't wake up
But
today.
it's-
I get next level angry. Wet socks.
Wet socks don't bother me.
What? So you're just walking around like.
I mean, obviously that wet. Yes,
That's almost as bad as just in general wearing flip flops.
Do you know if you had wet socks, people can track you? They know exactly where you've walked.
Look, I sweat a lot. My feet are always wet. There's always footprints on the floor.
The only time I'm walking around in wet socks is if I get that pissed. I piss myself. And even then, I'm only doing it to get home.
Right, Tom, stop drinking that much and stop eating spicy food. That's what we've learned from this school.
Yeah, I carry a pair of extra socks in my bag now.
Do you really?
Yeah. As soon as I get wet socks, straight off.
No, I got
dry socks on.
I got a spare pair of pants in my glove box in my car.
It's because all the spicy food you eat.
That's just out of phobia that I shit my pants, and I'm not the only one with that phobia. There are many people online that have the same fear that they're going to shit their pants.
I'll never ever shit my pants. I'll just bend over.
Oh, I have.
I'd pull my knickers to the side like a classy lady, and I would just bear down on whatever.
Saying about shitty pants. No, I didn't shit myself, but I did fart today, and I did have to quickly waddle to the toilet because I was
to check.
I was worried that I crapped myself.
Gave us a safety wipe, did you?
Yeah. It's like, oh God, oh no. Quickly waddle to the toilet. But then, like, if anyone was like outside in the living room, all I would have heard is like, whoo! That was a close one.
Jesus Christ.
Wet socks. But then again, I say wet socks don't bother me. I don't really wear socks at home, like ever.
Always wear socks at home.
It's not about you getting angry at home. It's about like what annoys you just in general in life. Wet socks is one of those. Headphones is one of those. People that bump into you, like shoulder barge you on the street. There's like a whole street, but you've got to walk into me. Especially when they're bigger than me. I like turn around. When they're walking away, I'm like, as soon as they turn around, I like turn around and just scurry off.
Turn back around quick enough.
So, you know, like if you're eating something to eat and you bite your lip, so standard that annoys you anyway, but you're like, oh, fuck, it really hurt. And then you do it a second and third time. Not only does it hurt, but you want to rip your face off out of anger.
It causes that internal lump
that
now always gets in the way.
It gets to the point where I either want to rip my sofa apart that I'm sitting on or rip my face off.
I've actually stopped eating my freshly made dinner because of that. I've just
thought of something. It's a left turn from where we are, so we're going to move away from being angry, and we're going to maybe take a bit more of a positive spin. It's not just such a
I'm happy.
It's going to be a very quiet chat.
Yeah, so I just mentioned that obviously the whole bump, and then you turn around, you're like, come on, when they're not looking. Have you ever, because I do this all the time, if someone annoys me or something, do you ever imagine just getting into some epic fight and just destroying them with like Mortal Kombat moves, or like, I've watched Tekken, I'm pretty sure I can, like, if I kick their legs, I can punch them down to the ground before they hit the floor. Does anyone ever go through scenarios like that?
All the time.
No, because I know my limits on fitness.
You're like, it's along the same lines of like, when you're ever singing a song in your head, do you ever imagine that like you're on stage in front of like a million people doing it and just
No, but
all the time in the car.
No, but when I am a passenger in a car, I do sometimes look out the window and picture myself like doing free running over everything at the side of the road.
Like you're a little superhero outside the car.
Yeah.
No, I'm always the fight one. Like, or like I'll run through scenarios like, oh, if we were at home and someone like started a fight on Mick or whatever, I would just like attack them, or like whoever I'm with. Like if I'm with you, Mick, and I'm like, oh, if that person starts on Mick, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab their arm, put them in like a full sleeper hold. I'm going to like
choke them out,
throw them, and like slam their head on the floor. I'm going to like drag them to the curb. I'm going to curb stomp them. And as his mate goes to punch me, I'm going to like block it because I know that he's like right-handed. So I'm going to block it. I'm going to do him one in the gut, and then as he goes down, I'm going to knee him in the face. and I'm going to
The
stop
only-
the car that's speeding towards me.
And Ben's
The
thinking
only
about all
point
of this
is-
while his head's getting kicked in.
Yeah. See,
Waking
the
up
only
in
things,
hospital.
the only things that I pre-plan in my head, like not necessarily fighting, I'll pre-plan arguments.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
I'll know,
yeah.
I'll know I'm going to say something, and I'll even plan in my head how it's going to go. So it's like I'm going to say this, they're going to get the up, and they're going to go, "Oh, why the fuck did you say that for?" And I'd argue with myself, and then I say it. It's like, all right, fucking waste of time thinking of that.
Or you completely mess it up. You come up with a really
Yeah,
like articulate sentence that's going to stomp them, and it ends up just resulting in, well, "Fuck yourself." No, that's all you've got.
it
And
just
you even
goes.
end up
Mick,
coming
you
up
have
with
been-
like 10 different answers in case of a different comeback from what you
Yeah,
say. So
yeah.
I've got to come back for that as well. Yeah.
Oh,
And yes, about the fighting one. Clearly,
Right.
I'm the only one that when I imagine it, I still lose.
Oh,
I
No, like-
still lose the fights.
you're only
in my
scrawly though, aren't you?
imagination.
I'm like
Yeah, but
so
I'm-
delusional. I honestly, there's about 3% of me, maybe 2% of me, that wants someone to break into my house so I can run through. No. So I can run through some of what's happened in my head. Like that person's getting fucked up, I think.
You think?
Like I will run down. You see my stairs. It goes down and then turns just on the last
Yeah.
like 2 steps. I'm like grabbing onto the top of my banisters and like running around the wall and kicking them in the face.
Fucking Spider-Man now.
And like I also like run through like cool things to say.
Like puns.
No, like things that I would turn all the lights off. Because apparently in my head I can see perfectly well in the dark. And just saying like what in my head sounds like a really cool "I'ma fuck you up" line, which is like shit like "You're gonna regret this day," and that's all you hear. And then all you hear is just like, and I'm like on you. And the next thing they see is like they just waking up, pool of blood. And I know this sounds really fucked up, and I don't know how people are going to take this, but I've even thought about if someone breaks into my house or if someone does something to my family, how and in what order do I torture them?
Everyone.
Yeah,
I've
that's
had
a little
many of those.
fucked up. That's a bit fucked up.
The
I've
thing
had
is,
many
yeah.
of those on a daily basis.
the thing
It
is,
gets dark.
I don't lose
It's getting
any
very
fights.
dark.
I don't lose any fights in my head because I've watched well enough anime that I reckon I could just pull off a super move. You know, I could
If
come
I
in
had a
the arm or
samurai,
something.
if I had a katana, I would be Yoshimitsu. Like
But what-
fact.
Just
Wearing my hat,
end
I'll
off.
be doing this. I'll be sitting on the floor doing all this, getting me health back when I'm bleeding.
Again, bed.
You've been doing
Then-
some weird things.
It's,
You know that movie does. I know what you think it is. You fucking gross, but when he's tapping the sword on the floor. Oh no, he's not
could've-
tapping. He's just holding it there, and
You could have
Yeah,
just
yeah,
said
it's
you
fine.
could have
Yeah.
just said he was pogo sticking his katana, right?
I'm a
no,
no. He does that pogo thing, but he sits with his legs crossed,
sort of like praise with it, doesn't he?
up. Yeah, he like prays to his sword, and as every time he like goes up and down, the health bar goes. I think that was like Tekken 3 or something. That's like an old Tekken.
Yeah,
He doesn't
I
do that
don't even
anymore.
know how many Yoshimitsu's been in.
Well,
He's
he's
been in
been
a
in
few
all
of
of them, but he
Oh,
looks
has he?
different in every single one, doesn't he? Like, there's one where he looks more like an octopus, but there's one where he looks like that, like the samurai one. He looks different in all of them.
Tekken is such a good game.
Oh, Tekken 2. What was the one with the ogres?
Tekken 2. I think we're
Tekken 2.
all thinking of Tekken 2 because we played that the most.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I'll quickly have a Google.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I think it was Tekken 2. That was the
Yeah.
one.
Like in Tekken 2, because you could play, I'm sure, in that one, like a kangaroo with boxing gloves, a panda,
Yeah,
like a training dummy sort of thing.
the little
Little-
dinosaur.
little T-Rex. Yeah,
Dinosaur.
Yeah. Ogre was in Tekken 3.
Tekken 3. Okay.
First appearance of Ogre was Tekken 3.
oh, okay, yeah. So it was Tekken 3. Then I'm on
Which
about.
anyone want to guess what year Tekken 3 was out?
1993.
So you
90.
Oh, hang on. So 1993. So you were just born,
I reckon
and
it
you
was
remember
out
playing
before.
Tekken. You remember playing Tekken 3,
No, but I reckon it was
I'm gonna
out for a
go-
while
right? So you think
before we played
93,
it.
Tom?
90. Mick, what are you saying? 95. Mick,
95.
95. I'm gonna go 98.
98. So Tekken 3, creator Namco. Namco still around? Yeah, it must be. They're still
Yeah,
pumping
Namco
out
is still
Tekkens,
around.
aren't they? Came out, first appearance, 1990. So you're all in the right decade. 7.
Oh, I was gonna say 7, and then I switched to 8.
Yeah, you're closest though, so we'll give you that point.
Damn it.
I should have stuck with 7.
Tekken 3, man.
What was that?
Yeah,
Was that
because
the
when we
PS1?
got into the 2000s is when we
Yeah.
went on to PS2, and I knew it weren't on PS2.
No, it was definitely PS1 with no analog.
Yeah.
You know, I turned
Oh,
on
I
my
played
PS2.
played the first Gran Turismo the other day.
Isn't it Bird's Eye View? No.
No.
No,
PS1 still.
That's Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? The first
Yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Theft Auto was
Yeah.
Bird's Eye View. Yeah,
There
sorry.
was 5 cars to pick, or something like 5 cars and only 4 tracks. And it was that pixelated on my TV that you could not see where the turn-ins were until you were there.
Nice.
It was absolute trash. And obviously
Yeah,
you
but it
couldn't
was
use the
good back
analogs.
then.
You couldn't use the analogs, so you had to touch the D-pad.
Yeah.
But then you'd go like too far.
Like Tron.
Oh, it was yeah.
You can't go back 20 odd years, probably 30 odd years, whenever that first came out, and think, oh, it's going to compare to anything we have today. And even in a year's time or 2 years' time, the games we have today, I mean, they're not going to look shit, like, because we've come on leaps and bounds, but they're not going to look as good. Like when Dino Crisis first came out, those
Banging game.
dinosaurs look real.
When we first ever played it, yeah.
And they were scary, and now they're just crap. Or Tomb Raider, the tiger, whatever one that is, the white tiger in the ditch, and
Tomb
the
Raider 2.
scarabs. Do you remember how
That's-
scared you used to get when the scarabs came out? It was just like,
Oh,
keep
yeah.
jumping, keep jumping, don't let the scarabs touch you. They're just these little squares, just getting
Yeah.
just zipping around all over the place. It's not scary.
Yeah.
Right, we'll take a quick detour into something I want to talk about. We won't spend too long on it, but I just want to see what you guys think. So, before we start, so have you all seen the teaser trailer? It's not really a trailer. It's, I don't know what you would call it, but the Godzilla X Kong featurette or whatever it is. It's like 30 seconds long.
No.
Seen it? Everyone seen it? You haven't even seen it yet? Oh, for Christ's sake!
I
So,
have, yeah.
Jack, have you seen it?
No, but I guess I could quickly watch it now while you're just talking about it.
Yeah. While I'm explaining it, have a watch. Tom, same with you on your phone. It's only 30 seconds. So essentially, it just a little bit of story here and there, blah, blah, blah. But the trailer in itself shows a new Titan, or not a new Titan, a Titan that isn't King Kong or Godzilla. And it's like a slimmer red or orange Kong, like ape. Then the camera pans out and you see Godzilla's skull, or a Godzilla skull. It might not be our Godzilla. And a Kong skull. Again, it might not be our Kong. It might just be an ancestor of a Kong and a Godzilla. What's interesting is this ape, so it zooms out to see the two skulls, then it smash cuts to this new ape's face, like really close in frame, and his eyes glow blue, very reminiscent or like very similar to that of Godzilla's atomic power.
So you thinking they had a baby?
I
No,
think
yeah, can you imagine? No. So hang on, have you both seen it now?
just
Yeah.
watching the zoomed in bit. Yeah. Okay, I have a hunch.
Well, hang on. Let me. Yeah, I want to run through a couple of theories that I've read, and then let me know if that was the hunch that you thought, or around those lines. B, if you like these theories and you think that could be quite interesting, or C, if you've got your own, or it's complete trash, or you think it's none of those and it's just speculation. So, the first one, in a nutshell, not to like drag it out too much, is that this Kong, because he's a Kong, because the race is Kong, right? I don't know what the actual name of the race is. Well, let's just call them Kongs. It's not King Kong. It's Kong. Is a more ancient, battle-hardened version Kong. Because obviously, the Kong that we know, he's young. Yes, he's grown up, but he's still an ancestor, like before the epic war between all the Titans. Right? He wasn't part of it. This Orange Kong is a Kong that was part of that. So he's battle hardened, he's kick ass, he's super strong, and he is a Kong, but he's pissed off at King Kong for having an alliance with Godzilla, who is the Kong's mortal enemy, essentially, right? Is their like nemesis. So he goes out and obviously he wants to kill Godzilla because Godzilla's Godzilla, and then he wants to kill Kong because he's pissed off that he's made an allegiance with their enemy. And the blue eyes are the fact that this Kong has mastered how to use the atomic power. Because it's not a Godzilla specific power, I don't think, because Hollow Earth, like the floor and the mountains, all glow with that same blue. So the theory is that Godzilla race just learned how to harness the atomic power. Now this particular Kong can harness it. Maybe not the breath, but maybe in some other way. Another theory is that this Kong is not actually the villain. They've just they've put him here to like goad you into thinking this is the main villain, but in actual fact there's something else. So this could just be like a complete tease, and he's not actually the villain. Like maybe they set him up for a villain after the villain. Who knows? There is a theory that is it Space Godzilla can take different forms, and that this is just a form of Space Godzilla. That's another theory. What do you think?
Are we going to take it in turns, or?
Yeah, we'll go oldest to youngest.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we'll go oldest to youngest of you three, obviously, me being the oldest. Jakku?
Well, I hope there's not multiple enemies for starters. Because every time there's a movie with too many enemies, I'm going to use Spider-Man 3, for example. It's just too much to do.
Wait, Tobey Maguire.
And the same with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Too many enemies. I'm just using Spider-Man because that's the first thing that comes into my head.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, if anything, he will just be a one villain. The Space Godzilla one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
there's another theory. So you've pulled that in. Is that this Kong actually has minions or an army, and he's just the true Hollow Earth Alpha, and he's just going to set those minions off. So it's actually going to be Godzilla and Kong versus the minions, but debut 2024. I think it's May. May 2024.
Number one, he looks like a Beast Titan, is what I think. He looks exactly like the Beast Titan.
Yes, which is not a bad thing.
If they do,
he's bigger than Kong. It looks like he's bigger than Kong.
I don't think it would be the Space Godzilla thing, because up until this point, the movies there have been no mention of space has been made.
Not to my knowledge. And I think that Space Godzilla and Destroyer are probably going to be like, because the Monsterverse is apparently meant to be going on for ages, and I think they're going to save that as almost like the Thanos kind of era, like end boss essentially. Like you're going to go through harder and harder, and then get to Space Godzilla or Destroyer, who's also
Well,
like
it's
an
got to be a
alien, maybe.
Kong enemy, right? Because the first movie with them was a Godzilla enemy, being Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, oh, good point.
Yeah.
So it's got to be an enemy of Kong. I've never read any comics or watched any cartoons about Kong, so I wouldn't know. I know. This is a theory, and it's a really weird theory. I know that there was a cartoon where a human guy like fused into Kong or something.
Oh yeah, that was a was that a Godzilla cartoon that featured a Kong?
I'm sure it was him fusing into Kong.
Yeah,
sure
that
it
sounds
was.
about right. Yeah.
That could also be a thing. Like that could answer why he's got blue eyes. It could be the eyes of a person.
See, my theory is completely different on that.
Go on then.
So, I don't think his eyes were glowing blue at all.
A reflection.
I think it was a reflection of Godzilla maybe using his atomic abilities. So I think it could be something like an orangutan version, which one would be pretty good to find because they're a lot faster climbers,
Stronger.
much faster swingers, stronger.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing is like not all Kongs look the same, just like not every human looks the same.
But I think the glowing blue eyes, I think they've put that in for people to think, what could it be, when in fact it could just be a reflection.
Yeah, and this is like, it's not like a concept trailer. I'm like losing, like, I can't think of the word right now, but it's not a real trailer. It's real, but it's not like this isn't going to be. Yeah, this isn't going to be the trailer. There's obviously going to be like 2 or 3 plus a Super Bowl trailer.
Yeah,
like there's going to be loads.
Like Deadpool. Like there was that release, and then they obviously made it into a trailer, right? So
right. So, Tom, you think this is a Kong?
Yeah.
That doesn't have any abilities. Is just a Kong that looks kind of like an orangutan.
Yeah,
even with all the war paint on his face, like battle hardened. Would you agree with that?
On his face?
Yeah, so I'd probably say more advanced than Kong. Sort of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes sort of thing. So not quite talking, but a bit more advanced. Dawn of the Planet, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, not Dawn of the Planet, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I mean, Kong kind of is smart. He knows how to do sign language, right? So we can.
Yeah, but I'm more on about like the war side of it. So created like a tribe and like Ben said, pretty much like battle hardened to it.
But the thing is, with my theory about the person fusing into Kong, that was them being heroes, basically being the good guys. So unless maybe they twist it, because I mean it is Hollywood, they would change everything. It could be that. Like maybe the person who confused with this Kong lost a family member during King Kong versus Godzilla.
Maybe this will help. So I've just pulled up the synopsis. I'm going to read it. Yeah, so it's just a small paragraph. It might give a little bit more insight as to who this breh is. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, so synopsis. The latest entry follows the explosive showdown of Godzilla versus Kong. So this is obviously set after Godzilla and Kong. With an all-new cinematic adventure, putting the almighty Kong, not King Kong, the almighty Kong, and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence, indicating it could be life or death, and our own. The epic new film will delve further into the history of these titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering a mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever.
That actually plays on my theory.
Go on.
Where you said mythic and like their origin and all that. I think the Kong that you saw was like basically one of the first.
Like a flashback, so he's not
Yeah,
actually
like a
alive in
flashback.
today's world.
Not alive in today's, like a flashback, and he was like the tribe leader of the Kongs against the what I would assume to be either the unknown threat or the original.
As well, I don't know.
Godzilla.
Is there like because there's so many bloody mythical creatures out there? Is there any that look anything like a gorilla other than like the Yeti or
Yeah,
Bigfoot?
there's a couple that I've stumbled across. So there's one that's called King Caesar, which is more of like a cat, dog, fox creature, not really an ape. So yeah, probably not the way it's going to be. There's an actual Kong called Vala, Vala, who is actually a Kong that was raised by the Awata, so like a native tribe. And she's a female Kong, and she does have reddish hair or gingerish hair. And then obviously I got onto the theories of like other titans that have the ability to change their appearance. Like I think Space Godzilla can manifest into like a different, can't like morph, but whatever he takes. Like if he gets Kong's DNA, that's what he bases his look off.
Well,
But
after the synopsis, that's thrown the Space Godzilla out the window for me. This is definitely a Kong enemy from Skull Island or something like that.
Somewhere similar.
Yeah.
There's actually another theory which I think is a bit of a stretch. So this is called Kong X Godzilla. Or Godzilla X Kong. It's not versus.
Yeah.
But it's actually called Godzilla X Kong Empire. So there's another theory floating around that Empire is a reference to like kind of like Roman times, and X in Roman is 10. So there's a thing like, is there going to be Godzilla against 10 Kongs, or is there like 10 enemies, or is there... I don't believe that one at all. I think that one's a massive stretch.
I think
that'd be way too much.
Yeah, what they've done with the movie already, they won't put Godzilla versus Kong again because, this may just be biased for me, but Godzilla 1, just straight up Godzilla 1. So there's no need to...
I agree with that,
anymore.
which is why on the trailer I didn't understand why you see Kong going at Godzilla again when he got his ass handed to him.
No, see, I don't think that's real. I don't know. Is that just another, as Mick said? So,
Wait,
right,
what,
so
what
to
trailer?
summarise...
Did I watch a wrong trailer or something?
I watched like a minute trailer.
Yeah, no, it's only like the last 30 seconds that's the actual teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole thing is just looking at this red Kong, zooms out, pans out onto two skulls, and then cuts to his face, its face.
Both the skulls are glowing, though.
Yeah, with the blue and the yellow, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember when it was, but back in 1980s, maybe 90s, maybe 70s, there is a Kong film where he's getting his ass handed to him by Godzilla, and then is it the moon or the electricity? Kong can suck in the power from the moon or something and gets power that way. So it could be in reference to that as well, that this Kong has that ability, whereas the Kong we know is still a bit young and still learning his ways. I mean, he's older, but I don't know. Right, to summarise, Mick, what was yours again?
In the trailer, what that was it was a flashback, yeah.
It was just a flashback. Tom, your theory is...
I just think it's like an orangutan, and it's a reflection in the eyes of like Godzilla's...
But do you think this dude's the main enemy? So Mick obviously doesn't think this guy's the main enemy.
Yeah, I think this dude's the main enemy, and I think it might even be the only enemy.
Cool. Jack?
Yeah, I think he's going to be the only enemy, and I think he's going to be something like an ancient Kong which has been hidden by Monarch or whatever and frozen like Ghidorah. Something like that.
Cool. Yeah, so again, to summarise for me, I think this is the only enemy and the main enemy. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think that this individual is currently the king of Hollow Earth, like the alpha, because you know that Godzilla's the alpha of Earth,
Yeah.
of the surface world, and then Kong is retreating into Hollow Earth. I think this one is the alpha, and Kong, maybe with the help of Godzilla, like I don't know how that's going to plan, has to take this guy out, this ape out, and then become King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does anyone
That's
actually
my
refer to
theory.
him up until this point?
No, they
Anyone
just call
refer-
him Kong.
Just Kong,
It's
right?
just
So he's
Kong,
not
isn't it?
actually King Kong to anyone in the movie.
I
They
think they
call him
maybe say
King
it
Kong
once.
once, and then
Yeah.
he gets beaten, and then they just refer to him as Kong.
Did they? I don't
Yeah, and
remember.
even actually in Godzilla 2, they refer to Ghidorah as the king, right? They say, long live
Yeah.
the king.
Yeah.
So I don't think King Kong...
Which one's
I'll
Ghidorah?
have
Which one's that one?
Three
The
heads.
dragon,
Oh, yeah.
That was such a
the
good enemy.
Godzilla wipes.
Yeah, I don't know. I've drawn a blank if they do. But if they don't, then that's obviously a clear... He's not labelled... he's not ever been labelled King Kong yet. So
Yeah.
maybe it's a thing where he's got to take this bloke out,
Yeah.
or this enemy out, smash him,
And then become the king.
become the king. But
Wait,
who
when
knows?
they call him King, is it still on Skull Island? When they say it?
I don't know. I'll have to rewatch them. I'm going to rewatch them anyway. I've got
Yeah,
until
I'm
May.
gonna rewatch him.
I've got until
Yeah.
May 2024.
You got a little while yet.
Well, with the length of those
It's
movies,
a
he
year,
might
isn't it?
just make it.
Yeah.
I just can't believe they start to release stuff so early now. It used to
Yeah.
be like 2 months before the movie, then 4, then
Yeah.
6. It's a year now.
Yeah.
That's the same as loads of stuff, though, as well, isn't it?
It's just like I'm not in this industry, and I hope to learn more about it. But if you've released a trailer, there can't be much else to do unless they've just finished the trailer, and now between the trailer and now they're finishing editing the rest of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
They're like, right, let's just edit enough for the trailer.
I hope. I don't know. Like,
And
I
it gives
hope.
PR a time, doesn't it, to build
I
up?
hope with this new one, right? They ended on a really, for me, they ended on a really decent note in Godzilla vs Kong. I hope that in the next one, that they're not going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours building up to a 5-10 minute fight at the end, because it's already been established that you know, Kong lost. He agrees that Godzilla's better
Alpha.
Albert, yeah.
So you don't need to go through that again. Just introduce the enemy.
No, I don't think those two are going to fight again. I reckon they're going to unite against an enemy.
No,
I don't know. I think there's going to be some sort of friction because they didn't leave on the best terms. Granted, they helped each other win.
No, but Kong knows that
But it's
Godzilla
still
will just
not.
kill him again. Basically.
No.
I don't know, because
I
there was
need
an
to
old
watch it again.
theory. Yeah, there's an old theory that
You know, I'm gonna watch it after this.
living in hollow Earth, soaking up all that radiation, will make you stronger. So if Kong lives in Hollow Earth and Godzilla just lives on surface world, is that going to close that gap a little bit? I don't know. Or are they just
Doesn't-
going to happily stay?
Doesn't
separate
Godzilla
levels?
live close to the
Yeah.
core of the planet though?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, he
Yeah, but
does.
that's
He
in the
lives that
ocean,
little-
isn't it? I think. He
Oh,
lives-
No, but
Underground
it's
ocean,
still the
but-
core of the planet. There's way more radiation there. That's what I also don't get. Wait, so there's a hollow Earth and the core of the planet? So is it hollow or is there a core?
But I don't know. I don't think they say he sleeps near the core. He just
I'm
sleeps
sure they do in Godzilla 2.
in the ocean. Mate, we need to rewatch this. Maybe I should have
Yeah,
watched
I
all
need
these
to.
before I started reading the theories of the next movie. Because I
Need
watched
to
them.
rewatch this.
Because obviously, Godzilla vs Kong came out during COVID, the first year of COVID.
Yeah.
That was 2020. Was it 2020 came out? So it's been a while.
First year of COVID, yeah, it was 2020.
Yeah, because I was going to go watch it at the cinema, but then they cancelled my ticket, so I had to get it on like Amazon or something.
Also, I just looked up Godzilla and Kong's enemies because talking about it all being about the ancient war and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The one that looks the most ancient is the behemoth, the one that kind of looks like a mammoth.
It's like a mammothy thing, isn't it?
That'd be cool.
I
But
say.
again, I hope they don't try to put too many enemies in one film, because that just ruins the whole thing for me.
I think it's just a flashback.
Yeah, it could be.
Dinosaur.
Hmm.
No, it's really interesting gauging what you guys think. I think it's just going to be an all-out brawl to see who's going to be the King
No, but
Kong.
then again, like, would
Well,
I don't know if that would make sense, right? Because if King Kong, if Kong and this other one are fighting to become the new Alpha, if Godzilla gets involved, then Kong isn't really an Alpha, is he? Because he needs
yeah,
help.
but maybe, like I say, it might just be the Alpha of Hollow Earth rather than
Yeah,
Godzilla reigning supreme. I mean, Godzilla technically is like the Alpha,
Yeah.
but like Kong lived on Skull Island for the 50, 60, 70, 80 years that he lived there or whatever, and Godzilla left him be. So Kong was Alpha of that island, sort of thing,
Yeah.
not necessarily. But who knows? But anyway, yeah, that's quite. It was quite interesting. Guys at home, be really interesting to read your theories as well. I love all of this kind of like speculation on anything coming out. So yeah, chuck us a comment, write any kind of theories, as long as short as you want. If I find them really interesting, we'll make sure that we talk about them. Because as and when new trailers come out, we're definitely going to be talking about it.
oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, 100%.
Cool. Have we got anything else, or are we done?
Final thing I just want to say. So going back to last week's episode, I did go against your word, and I did watch the Power Rangers
Nah.
on Netflix.
And
Sweet Jesus.
what? Look, I'm not apologising. I told you. Not to watch it.
Wow. Just wow.
It's the yellow Rangers acting,
Awful. Absolutely terrible.
and Billy. What is it with Billy's face?
I don't even know. It.
I can't move anything but
Yeah.
my mouth. So this is how I'm going to act.
And then yeah, the CGI of the Megazord and
Yeah,
the lizard or whatever his name is.
Slizzard or something.
Oh my god. It was like watching Blue's Clues fight. It was just ridiculous.
Told you.
They could have done so much for that.
They didn't even play the original song,
No. No, they did briefly at the beginning.
did they?
Yeah. Very brief. Like, not the whole song. It was only
And what
like,
did you
I think,
think of,
10,
like-
15 seconds.
Random Kimberly playing guitar and singing with all of them at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was supposed to be like a heartfelt flashback thing. But it just sort of
I turned it
made
off
no
at that
sense
point.
being there.
Yeah, I saw the nice little, like I say, the black and white images of Jason and I keep saying Jason, Tommy and Trini pop up.
His name is Jason
That's why.
David. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
But
I told you. What do you want?
more than that. More than that.
It's like under an hour, which is weird. It's not like a real
Yeah,
feature
it's like
film.
58 minutes
It's
or
like
something
just
like
a
that.
long episode or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What are
Awful.
we gonna do?
And the flying car, which just basically was grease lightning, like the end scene of that.
So you're saying,
Or grease. Oh,
so you're saying, don't watch it.
I wouldn't.
I'm
Well,
saying
you
if you want something to giggle about, watch it.
Yeah, if
you
I can
want
take
something-
back them 58 minutes, I would.
Told you.
But yeah, that's all from me.
All right, this is a long episode.
It is.
Yeah, it's compared to our last one.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for watching episode 2. Obviously, I've mentioned a few times. I mentioned at the beginning. Please feel free to subscribe, follow, add a comment, provide 5 stars, anything that can help us rise the ranks. We're a very new channel, but I can see us going for a long time as long as we have people watching.
Only
If
2
you
episodes in.
find us interesting, yeah, we're 2 episodes in. In a blink of an eye, we'll be 2,000 episodes in.
I'm not
Yeah,
editing that much.
let-
I hope so.
Yeah. Let us know what's interesting to you. Let us know what's not so interesting in you. It's only interesting for you. Yeah, it's only going to help us get better and better. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
And from all of us, we'll see you next week.
See you next
See you.
week.
Next week.